You're welcome back. Now, most in the world know we should tackle climate change, but it does require expensive decisions, and to some, the prospect of doom still feels like it's far enough away. But in the Maldives, that prospect feels much closer. And in a climate of high interest rates, its government is finding it hard to borrow the money it needs for the nation of islands to survive. Well, the Maldives is co-chairing the UN's Conference on Small Island Developing States, which has begun in Antigua. And our reporter Jonathan Josephs has been speaking to the government's climate change envoy about securing their future.
The very beauty that brings millions of tourists to places like the Maldives each year is also the biggest threat to their future. For 37 countries, being so close to rising sea levels means access to cheaper money from richer countries is crucial to winning the fight against climate change, according to the man trying to get them to agree an action plan.
The way we see some of the development projects like the causeways and coastal protection, those are really climate adaptation for us because it's protecting our vulnerable coasts. But when we ask for financing for that, that falls into their category of infrastructure development. So it's sometimes difficult to, get access the financing on those grounds. So what really we are asking is, we need to modify those criteria which the financing is provided.
Are you able to put any kind of even approximate numbers on this? Are we talking a few $1 billion? Are we talking tens of billions of dollars?
Well, we've got different figures. Of course, there are different assessments. They are order of billions of dollars. It shows how significant this climate financing could be and how large it could be.
Whatever measure you use, is the political will there for the richer countries who do have better access to this money to give that money to this cause?
Yes, I think the political will is there. And when you account for our vulnerability, that has to have a long, it should be more concessional. That has to come in a cheaper concessional rates. Plus, that would have to, of course, give us more longer times for us to repay it back.
Why is it so difficult and why is it so expensive to get hold of that money for a country like the Maldives?
The way it is provided with the higher interest rate, it's not affordable if that's the case. Most of the small countries, we've got quite a lot to do on our debt side. Yes. But then, don't make the current debt levels that we have to be, another reason not to provide the financing. Again, because in the first place, they were based on a different measure. So put our vulnerability to be part of the measurements to provide the financing.
A country like the Maldives and many of the other small island developing states that are meeting here, heavily dependent on tourism for their economy. Does that need to change? And what does that look like if they're going to be able to afford to repay these loans?
Yeah, we've got diversification with financial centers to be coming in. We've got ports and harbor services to be coming in different parts of the country. Plus, we would be coming up with agricultural development, which we could reduce on the import expenditure that we are doing as well. So which would, again, give means to do the repayment of what we're asking for.
These vulnerable island states remain on the front line of the fight against climate change, but financial change at home and abroad could just secure their future. Jonathan Josephs, BBC News.
Now,